Oka 1964 here. Trying to get out of a wind in Newcastle Station. It's pretty windy actually, I don't know why. And we're off on Easter Sunday to Bath Racecourse. First time in 80 years. Luckily, looks like I leave my train at Newcastle to Doncaster on time. I only get there about 1:10. So I'm going to have a bit of a fight here. I have to get a commercial bus. Oh no, I think it's a free racecourse bus. I mean, Mike Poage, is his surname, has put has put something on their website actually. They put on about also as a commercial bus as well. But I think the free racecourse bus seems to be running quite regularly today. Oh, the last bus row would be one I have to catch. I can't get one afterwards, so it might be a bit of a struggle for some delay. Here for the Lansdowne Filly Stakes. Trying to remember a bit of Beckford. I think of Beckford before. So last time I went was 2018 to Bath, only 2 times been to before, which is very low for me for a racecourse. Went 2015, just to go to Bath, based on every course in Britain in about 12 months, and then I went to Beckford then. So I've got me think. And there's 7 listed races I'm not seeing, including this one now. It's all the great races in Britain. Well, one of them, God knows, Chelmsford Filly Stakes at Chelmsford City, God knows what's going to happen to that. Well, I'm not able to see this year, for not just because Chelmsford went into administration. Absolutely show whatever shows I would say, Chelmsford City. They've got a date wrong. I booked a meeting for the 7th of May. It's now being held on 30th of April. I thought this might be my mistake. It has happened before. I booked 3 years ago, maybe now, 2 years ago, to see the candidate of 7th National, and simply just booked one meeting. I'm pretty sure that was my mistake. And I thought, well, maybe I've done this again. But then I looked at my ticket. I could look at the ticket on Chelmsford, and I thought, no, it says 7th of May, Chelmsford Filly Stakes on my ticket. And it's now the only reason I know it's changed is I'm looking at their website to see whether this meeting was still on. And then I found out, it's 30th of April. Oh, wonderful. Thanks for that. Already have plans anyway for that day, so I can't if I wanted to, I wouldn't want to come down from that anyway. So I don't know if that race will ever be put somewhere else, if it's still going to run at Chelmsford, if it's going to be abandoned permanently, it's going to go to another race course, it's going to be go to another race course to be renamed. That's happened to a few races. The new Robin Hood Stakes, newish for the last 2 years at Nottingham, Ben Marshall at Newmarket. There's the race Goliath Stakes at Musselburgh, the old Feathers Light Stakes at Nottingham. Again, Nottingham. Used to had the fixture swap earlier as well. Ben Marshall, the Covington Filly Stakes at Newmarket, what used to be run at a race was run at Nottingham, whatever race that was called, and then Nottingham got the Ben Marshall Stakes from Newmarket, and now Nottingham lost the Feathers Light Stakes to Musselburgh. Anyway, but I might go to Brighton Racecourse for that on the 7th of May now. There is a Chelmsford City meeting there, but I think it's just a minor meeting. There's nothing of great interest. Another race I've not been to in 8 years. I mean, there's only a few, I think. Brighton, Fontwell, Newton Abbott, Forth Lass, Close to Toaster, and maybe one or two more I've not been to since 2021. So I may well do that. That's what I might do there, but I might even just spend a day in London. Or you have a train to London on that day, and a very late, stupid 6 o'clock morning train way back, because there's an evening meeting at Chelmsford and I couldn't get back from it. Because the National Express changed the last coach of London to Newcastle from 11 o'clock to 10 o'clock for no reason I can understand. I mean, I can't even guarantee getting that now. Oh, it wouldn't have been my plan otherwise. I thought, well, let's be a cheap train ticket out of London, I'll just hang around in London. And, I don't know, I might go clubbing. I'm not written that off, actually, even if I go to Brighton, because I can't do that in Brighton because the last train on Brighton's at 2 in the morning. I don't think there's much point, and unless there's a couple of very expensive ones, and anything morning, it's too late for my 6:30 train. So I might go to London, I don't know. I might just stay in London instead, not even go to Brighton. I don't greatly like Brighton Racecourse, frankly. Chelmsford City is my least favourite racecourse. Brighton's not far off. We have a very nice view of the east side of Brighton, not west side. I can't really see the main part of Brighton too well. East side of Brighton's a very nice view. And I might just do that for the day, or I might just stay in London. I don't know yet. Frankly, if I had a chance to get a refund on my train ticket, I'd take it, because there's no reason for me to be in London now. But that's that. We have the first ever point-to-point meeting in a couple of weeks' time. The 25th of April. I had considered going to Sandown for a Bet Freezing Flag Gold Cup day. I've seen the race itself, I've said that before, a couple of times recently. As much as anything to see Richard Johnson win his first jockey's title, which is good to be there for that. I've been so 15 years maybe, second to Tony McCoy. But that train tickets are just ridiculously expensive. I didn't look at it early enough, but the train tickets are crazy. And with Bath, I looked out of interest to see what the cost was. I was checking something out, booking it now, and it was 250 return. Now this is 100 return. That's not cheap. This is a man's ticket. Oh, dear me. I think it was none of that ticket with 250. I'm not, oh, maybe not. I'm not sure it was. It's just crazy. Across the country, have always been expensive train company, but even before COVID and the war in Ukraine, talking price, they were always expensive. But a couple of times I went from Newcastle to Manchester, then Manchester to Birmingham, even though it's now slower each way, to save £10 each way, because of course country just being a stupidly expensive train company. Everyone's booked to Newbury is one of the 7 I've got to do. The one I can't do yet is Kelso, because that got banded in January with New Berrymoss ways, so I'll do that next year. So I've got Newbury, St Hughes, Newbury, and then 2 in Newmarket, one July the 18th, I can't remember what time that is, and one, I can't remember what race it is. And it's ridiculous cost for it. The grass ticket is 50 quid. That's because Kaiser Chiefs and the girls are playing as music afterwards. And I can't even hang around for that after Newmarket after racing. But if I want to see them, man, I'm not that fussed. I'll mention them in a second actually about doing darts. But I just don't interest in either band. And it's 50 quid. Reason I might do meetings, I want to just get to as every listed race in Britain. I've only got 7 left to do, counting Chelmsford Philly Stakes, which may or may not exist. I think that's 7 for one of these, or was it 6? I accidentally left Stand Cup on, which I went to in Greenfield. I think it might be 7. I'm not sure if I've still forgot to move the Stand Cup on my list. It would be Kelso today, Chelmer, 2 Newbury, 2 Newmarket, Newbury. Maybe it's 6. I don't know. Maybe I'm accidentally leaving one on. I don't know. So maybe it's actually 6, not 7. But it's just, as I was saying, and I emailed them to check, is this the date? I think it's 22nd of August, maybe. Partly because Chelmsford Philly Stakes, but mainly just to go over them, saying, is this a date? I want to check before I pay 50 quid for a grandstand ticket and a train ticket to make sure it's the right meeting. And was not, and I did say to them, I say here, a racecourse should put them music events. I have no issue with music events being there, and there's possibly more money for music events after racing. But it's on one of them, you just have a music event and leave the racing out completely and just have a, which you certainly can do, and I wouldn't have an issue with that. We don't do your more major meetings. Now, a listed race isn't necessarily Newmarket's major meeting. There's a lot more major races at Newmarket than this. But still, there's a lot more minor meetings. You just put on a minor class 4, 3 meeting and just do that instead of basically making a decent racing more expensive. So one was mentioning Kaiser Chiefs and darts is, I just say this as well here, a very enjoyable couple of nights, Tuesday evening, went to a second time into a darts Masters exhibition tournament in Newcastle, where it called the Newcastle Masters, and the MC kept saying, well, Newcastle's actually technically in Gateshead. The said, I don't know why we have Newcastle Masters in a Gateshead, and then MC, somebody reckon, not John McDonald or Lewis Jones, the other guy, I've forgotten who the guy is who's does. It's not little Richard Ashdown. I can't remember who. I reckon I put his name up here. I think I just couldn't remember his name actually. But no, he did a decent enough job to be perfect. I think he did do any time before as well. I think he might have done. I'm not sure. But it's very good, very good. There's the 4 pros. Well, I say pros, 2 technically. Rules are read. How many in an exhibition? How many PDC stars you're allowed to have, as in with tour cards? And I read it's 2, and then apparently it used to be 3. And the 2 I've seen, definitely only been 2 current talker holders have been on it. But 1 in December, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm busy. I think it's a couple of them. I'm not sure I'm doing any more. The December one though has Hesse, Dobie. I'm not sure of the 2 players who are, but all the current talker holders. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But anyway, we got Angus Naspel, who went to one I went to just over a year ago. Had Vincent van der Wert, Michael Van Gogh, and Robert Fortin, and obviously, if you know darts at all, Van Gogh and Aspen are the 2 co-talk holders. But you got the, Michael Van Gogh, and it's a 7 Nation Army from the Kaiser Chiefs, isn't it? I think of the Kaiser Chiefs, I can't remember. If it's not Kaiser Chiefs, well, it's not. I'm pretty sure it is, God knows. So I'm not that sort of band anyway. But and Nick Fassman made a joke at it about some of the people. We'll start the first round of the 4 main players take on some local, legal players or whatever they are, and then you have some people paid money to play a leg against the star players who usually might try and win, but when they give them a chance, they go for some very stupid doubles or obscure finishes or something like that. I think one of them, and maybe it gets even established, one of the league players, clearly Mike Van Gogh, I'm not sure who it was, went for 50 left, we literally went for 3 balls, didn't quite get it, got 1-2-5 I think in the end. But well, a guy, one of the players who won a match to play against Aspinall, was bald, and that's a joke, the MC, that he was skinny Van Gerwen, and so he got during his match, and so of course happens, the crowd started shouting, "Oh, skinny Van Gerwen." It's very funny, and the guy took it well as well. So that was a fun thing as well, just saying, adding to about this. So we've got. I'm no chance of drinking Bath at all. I have to get up quite sharpish after racing. I certainly have to use the final race. What's happened is they've split the final race into 2, so there's 2 divisions. But I think I'd only get to a station 6 minutes before my train. So annoying gap. There seems to be a lot of buses after the 7th race. There's an 8 race club, but not after. There's a little bit 15-minute, 20-minute gap after the 7th and the 8th. After the 8th. It's a bit strange, really. I mean, I think they may have done these buses set up at times before there was a split race, and I think that's maybe not. Maybe could have done that a bit better, more sensibly, actually. And not realising, I mean, I'm maybe trying to rejig things a bit to realising that you don't need that many race buses if there's an extra race. You can share some of the ones after the 7th race to the 8th after the 8th race. Anyway. Can't be helped, and there's buses then, so I can go after 7th race, get back in Newcastle not more long before 2 o'clock. I could have got a train getting me to the Aston Metro, certainly, and it comes back to home in West Jesmond, but it was, I must have been much more expensive, I think, because, but now even this was, because I know I didn't get that option. I'm looking at today train split website. It's kind of it's decent enough. It's not always the most usable site. Better Travelline. I think I said recently, Travelline site to redesign their site to make it. Partly it's better, partly it's worse, frankly. But it has opportunities to try and buy tickets to the July 18th to Newmarket. It's finally come today. Well, not of course. In around my house to easily check. So I tried checking on my phone. I sort of jumped over saying about Lucius. Yeah, sorry, and I saw a Sandown for some reason, crossed and got distracted. Yeah, so I was trying to go point meeting for a few years, and I never seems to work out. I have the timings, I either forget about it, and then it's look too late, oh no, I can't do that now. But sometimes it's terrible, obscure places, and no one there, I don't have a car, so my public transport it can be difficult. But Lucius has the advantage of being next to a train station, basically, so that's about a mile walk at most. And that's really useful for me, and it's right near St Andrews. So that I don't know if I've got anything else. Newcastle at Ladies' Day, whatever else. I've got the other one from Blake. I don't know anything else. Probably go to 31st of May, I think almost certainly. There's a Sunday series, or assume it's a Sunday series meeting where you go prize money. There's a few others. Probably that evening meeting might go to that. I might go to the Yorkshire Sculpture Park in the afternoon. There's quite nearby. I think that's it. It's a busy meeting. It seems so far well behaved. I mean, it's I don't mind crowds. So it's a bit. Well, I do actually. I don't like large crowds, frankly. But I know you need it for horse racing, and I'm not opposed to it at all. And there's a nice view of Bath, but it's the main competence of Bath. And one unique level of competence that I can't put, which I get a bit of an argument with someone selling a race card because I knew I was not making a mistake. Firstly, Bath, dear with me, trying to get in, I should have run just about before the first race, but they were, there's a lot of entrances, and it's just telling them what you need. Sometimes this stewards and staff are not near the queues, just telling people where to go, so to speak. And what happened was eventually, what was funny, they said we go in any entrance. I think, why did he say that? At least he was one of them saying annual members, I think it was, or hospitality. Well, you must be going to join that one because I think it says it's for annual members of hospitality or stuff like that. And then someone else went, I think they should have looked a bit more carefully. A few people said, oh, I'm trying to go and pay with day one and say, well, you can't use that one. I think that's a bit more obvious, you can't. But I may say, will they? Say any of them, I suppose it does say that. But I missed the first race by at least a couple of minutes because I could have probably got it, I think, if it had been better handled. Although again, if it had been better judged, it'd be larger, more people using like those other turns, sort of entrances, so maybe I wouldn't have done. and it was just rather busy. It took a little while to get in. There's a lot of traffic, and it's been away just going into a racecourse itself through there because of cars. The race card, it is bizarre. I was trying to pay £3.50 race card. The card didn't work, and when I tried to pay by I put the card, just chip and pin sort of thing. That's how I insert the card, and it's some complete wrong. Look, I said, well, I'm going to show you what it would have been. She says it would have been 55,000, and I think, obviously not going to put that through. And I thought, well, what's going on here? Yeah, you fit too many numbers. And I'm like, no, I fit 4 numbers. I wasn't very polite in the end, because I clearly not made a mistake. And I know what this silly idiot's done. She's not set £3.50. If I think she's not hit you for me to pay, so I've hit my 4-digit pin. And I say 2512. So obviously not that. If they want to steal my card, please don't use that number. But afterwards. So what's happened is it's been 3502512. Now hang on, does that add up? I think it does. Yes, £35,052.12. It would have been if that was my 4-digit pin, which obviously didn't. Well, that's what's happened. So it came to 35,000. She seems to think I hit too many numbers and stuff. I think, what? No, you can't hit too many. I was only later on I realised what the idiot's done. You can't hit too many numbers in a 4-digit pin. I mean, it just isn't. You can't. And she's just made a cock up. It's annoying. Anyway, so what's finally got on to obviously my Lansdowne Filly Stakes. That's another of my 6 or 7. I think it's 7. Chelmsford Filly Stakes. I'm pretty sure it's 7. I can't remember not seeing. See, I think it's 6 or 7. I always forget which. I'll have to look it up a bit. I'm like, that's certain. So I've seen that one. That was one off the list. We've got 4 races left. Has to be the final race. It's a split race actually. There's supposed to be 7 race cars. Then there was 8 race. There's a buses. There's a paid for bus basically. There's a commercial one as well. But I think I'm not sure. But I've got a return ticket on the paid for the race course or whoever it is supply. It's a little expensive, £6 a turn, but there's only 3 of us on the final one, and person, you got here a bit late, and the driver, and I'm afraid it wasn't really polite to leave a pair, saying, well, the first train out Newcastle was flying 7:57, words to that effect. It wasn't exactly, couldn't get anywhere near earlier. I mean, that's a bit unkind. I mean, maybe it's just a bit of a joke, perhaps, but he said someone else as well, and a bit more polite in response. But he's a bit it was, I don't need someone saying that maybe. But maybe it was a bit unnecessarily abrupt. It wasn't like really rude, but it was sort of said I couldn't get in any earlier. So I've been missing. I think I'm missing other races meetings. Obviously, got things like 35th I might go back to at the end of the year. I'm not sure. There's a few possibilities. I don't want to keep spending money going racing well, even though we get quite cheap train tickets. So there's places like Beverley. I might Hilly Needle Trophy. I might possibly go back there again. That's a possibility. Redcar, there's the bag holding meeting. It's quite cheap to get there. I might do that. Oh no, hang on, is that no idea? I thought second night class was first, not Sunday. Sorry, Sunday actually first. I think so. Bath, it's a good height, large crowd. I did hear once a Good Friday meeting. It had been a bit ropey. I think when it was so just good when I was at Lingford, when it was the good all the fans on then. Before I unfortunately moved to Newcastle, because I would have gone there to Newcastle, my local track instead the next year. But I heard it was pretty dicey Good Friday at Bath as well. A bit too many young people, I think. But it seems well. Oh, I was going to say yes. Look, I see some stewards in the distance. It's gay. It's like people aren't supposed to stand on the stairs. There's signs saying it, and there's a lot of people standing on the stairs next to a steward who looks like a work experienced kid. I'm sorry, he does not look. I'm saying always you don't want to overfish a steward. You don't want thugs. I have to say, you want someone who looks a bit innocent, imposing, or at least it looks like we might at least not take any crap. It looks like it's just. Oh dear me. I mean, I'm sorry, not Mr. Well, I've got to gym quite a bit. No, I've done my gym a little while actually. I'm a bit more, but not opposed. But you need security, you need some sort of thing. Like with yellow signs are on stairs, and there's people in there who are not supposed to be. That's less obvious. But it is a bit. I often say if you don't want overfishing student, you need some. There is some student here. I'm not sure it's very good though, frankly.